Right here, Tim, on the right side.
Hey, Kevin. Tim Bonnis from the Washington Post. Obviously, you've been teammates with LeBron for a few years now. He's got a streak of, I think, 30 straight series with a road playoff win. Obviously, you guys are the underdog in the series. You don't have home court advantage. How much confidence does that give you guys as a team to know you have a guy that's been able to go on the road year after year and have that kind of consistent level of success, obviously at the highest level in the playoffs?
Yeah, it gives us a lot of confidence. You know, we have a number of guys with experience and a lot of playoff minutes, a lot of years logged in this league, and you know, been in a number of these situations before. And Bron, I mean, he's at the forefront of that. He's ahead of that. So just having a guy that's been here, done that before, you know, has so much confidence in everything that we do and walks the walk, it allows us to be ourselves, to be confident in approaching game two.
Janie in the front.
Hi Kevin. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. How do you guys go about stopping the ball so that Durant doesn't go down the lane untouched, but also getting to shooters? You know, it's a challenging task, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean that's what stuck out in in film the past 2 days was that we have to be able to stop the ball. We have to take smart fouls, especially in transition if they have numbers, and load up. We got to know when to crash on offensive glass. Know that we're going to be cross-matched in transition, 1 through 5, really, especially against their shooters. So, those times where they got into the paint, especially in that first half, I believe they had 42 points in the paint in the first half, something around there. So, something that we really need to try to take out, force them into tough contested shots from the perimeter or from the 2-point.
Fifth row towards the back.
Hey, Kevin, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. You've talked all along about how great you guys are when you play with pace, and that's when you're at your best. How do you do that and not allow it to get into a track meet that could favor Golden State the way that it did in Game 1?
I think just we're so good at when we get stops. I mean, it's all predicated on our defense, and it has been that way all year. When we're able to get stops, and I mentioned us having a great game plan, not giving up those transition buckets and those paint buckets. When we're able to do that, we're such a better team, and that allows us and dictates our pace a lot of the time. So, yeah, I think it is. We're fortunate enough to be able to play both styles, a number of styles of basketball in the half court as well. But yeah, we definitely don't want to make it a track meet or make it anything that favors them. But at the end of the day, I think our pace is what makes us great, and we have to play that way.
Any other questions for Kevin? Michael, over here on the aisle.
Kevin, on the roster, you have guys like Kyle, Deron Williams, people who weren't through this a year ago, been in the league a long time without getting the chance. What dynamic have they brought, not just as players, but that trying to get that ring 13 years into the league? What's it meant to your team and your locker room?
Talked about and mentioned experience with this team. Those are two guys that have. Deron's been to Western Conference Finals, been on a number of teams with experience. Kyle, Eastern Conference Finals. Both have been all-stars in this league, guys that have played at a very high level. So I think having that level of professionalism and just being so hungry and knowing what it takes and having the willingness to do whatever it takes to win a title is big, especially from guys of that caliber.
Does it add a little bit of a freshness? Not that anyone who's been here 3 times would take it for granted, but to get here for the first time and this far into their career has got to be special.
Yeah, it definitely is special, and I think that now just going into Game 2, finding ways to get those guys going, to get our bench going, and I know those are the 2 guys you're mentioning, but. Just looking for opportunities and breaking down the film, seeing where they can be effective, because they do mean so much to our team.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Rachel, right here.
Kevin, what did you notice on film? Did they play you significantly differently than they did last year during the finals, or even at Christmas, or since then? Yeah,
I think more than anything, our defense is what stuck out on film. Offensively, there's a number of shots that could have fallen, things we could have done better. Setting numerous picks, keeping the ball moving to both sides, but defensively, just not only in transition but in the half court, just making them feel us. I think a level of physicality being brought to the series, especially in Game 2, is going to be huge for us in setting the tone. And more than anything, I think that's what ultimately stuck out for us.
What about you, though? The way they went at you personally, did
Sure.
it feel different from either Christmas or January or last year, or anything specific to this series?
Yeah, I mean, definitely they've gotten better since we saw them Christmas and, like you mentioned, I don't know when in January,
Martin
but
Luther
we saw them
King-ish.
here.
Yeah.
But definitely they've gotten better. We feel like we have as well. But it's, definitely, the NBA Finals have a different feel in themselves, and every game is different. Every series is different. Every matchup that you're going into, every game is going to be a little off, a little different. So you just have to be able to, adjust and make yourself effective.
The back row.
Back row. Courtney Cronin, Bay Area News Group. What do you notice about the difference in this rotation of their bigs as compared to where it was last year? I spoke with Tristan. He said that the first word he brings up is athleticism and, having to out-jump guys, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's Zaza or JaVale or David West, or even Draymond playing the 5, they have a number of different styles and ways that they can play. But, for some of the game, they were putting, Draymond at the 5 and, putting KD at the 4. So they were going small and getting out on transition and finding each other. And that unit is so good at passing the ball and playing for one another that I mentioned the cross matching in transition and defensively in the half court as well. Just being able to guard at all 5 positions with us is going to be really key, or for us.